definition of sovereign, or we're going to become less sovereign. You just got told and explained and communicated how you've ended up today the way that it is. And then I just asked you, do you like exactly how it is, where you're at? Is there a little few things that you'd like to have additional? Are there some other things you'd like to see change? Are there some things that you would like your kids and their kids to have differently in just the way of experience than what you've had to live through? Well, then if that's a yes, then you've got work to do. And guess what? Ain't nobody coming to save us. I'm going to say it again. Nobody is coming to save us. If we don't get up and help ourselves, guess what? They're going to live in a lot of the same stuff you're living in. How many people can speak the language here right now?
33.
33.
I mean, first.
Well, let's just say under 40.
Yeah.
And how many folks here in this area that would be from that language stock?
About 4,000.
How many?
4,000.
How many?
4,000.
So what percentage is 30 of 4,000?
Okay. Very little.
Less than
1.
1%? 40 would be 1%, right? That help kind of sort that all out real quick? 99% of the people in this community do not speak the language of this community. Now, roll that forward a little bit to your kids. And pretty soon we're going to start making it up as we go. And it really ain't funny. You can laugh about it right now because you still know somebody that speaks it. In a minute, it's just going to be a myth. And then it's not going to be so funny anymore. And guess what, folks? You're not any different than the majority of the rest of Indian country. I used to go to Navajo Nation, and I thought to myself, man, there's a lot of, pretty much everybody's fluent here. Guess what? They just did a survey I got told the other day. It's gone downhill quicker in the last 10 years than it did the whole 30 years before that. It doesn't slow down, it accelerates. And there may be some folks thinking, I got some time. I can just blow off 10, 15 years of my life, and I'll just come back to it when I'm in my 20s, or 30s, or 40s. Maybe other people have that luxury. Maybe other groups of folks have that luxury. But guess what, guys? We don't have that luxury. Things are going, I guess in a way, if you want to look at it, there's a war going on out there. It's not a people with guns and people with tanks and on a battlefield. The battlefield is in every single one of our communities, and the war is being assimilated into a society that has no concern at all for us. And that may sound a little harsh, but that's the hard, cold facts. And I personally have come all the way up here because I care for every single person in this room like you were my tribe. Real talk. How many of you am I going to see of my tribe lifting my people up sometime in the near future? I hope as many as you can. Everybody. How many of you couldn't get the privilege to come over here today and are sitting back there dealing with stuff that I've seen a million times, you live with every day? And who's making it different right now while you're here? Back there. It's real, folks. It's really important. It's real, so it's really important that we do something with our lives. Quit doing time. Quit doing time. Last week I was in Florida, and I was in Washington, D.C. And here I am today, almost about as close out here in the West as you could possibly get. In 2 days, I'm going to be in New Mexico. That's how real it is to me. I got a beautiful, amazingly beautiful, intelligent, awesome wife. And 3 amazing kids. Do you not think I love them and care for them and wish I could spend 24 hours a day, 7 days a week with them? I've been home 3 days in the last 21 days. How real is it to you? I don't want nobody to go, oh, well, there ain't nobody really out there pounding it and moving and trying to make a difference out there. I don't want you to believe that crap because I'm standing right here in front of you. I was standing in Florida the other day talking about that community and their language. Guess what? A lot of similarities. What are we going to do about it? 2 months ago, youth entrepreneurship nationally in Indian country didn't exist. Monday, we'll have the first youth entrepreneurship summit. And you know what? I went out and I called Facebook, and I called, they're going to be there. I called the American Petroleum Institute, which is probably one of the most powerful groups in Washington, D.C. They're going to be. I went to New Mexico. I said, hey, where's the New Mexico Oil and Gas Association? Y'all need to get with this. They're going to be there. And then a couple other companies. And we started going out through the whole state of New Mexico and everywhere else that we could put the word out. And we're going to have 150 kids sitting in a room that we're going to inspire and motivate to be the next generation of business people. 2 months ago, wasn't nothing. What can you do? What ideas do you have? What dreams do you have? What vision do you have? It's been given to you for a reason. There was a man, a Lakota man, that probably one of the most talked about men of his people. And he said, when you have a dream and you see something, it doesn't become medicine until you take it out of your head and put it in the world. Then it becomes medicine. When you get something up here, that's for you. When you take it and you bring it out here, it's for everybody. How many of you are pulling what's inside of your head and bringing it into the world? Or how many of you have been told, you. And whether we realize it or not, we start buying into that crap. Don't. Stop. It's not true. It's a lie. Start believing in your own power and start doing things that nobody else may have ever done because they've been waiting for you to do it. Anytime somebody comes up to me and says, well, you know what, we tried that 24 years ago and it didn't work. I'm like, well, guess what? That was 24 years ago. What's that got to do with right now? In 2002, the White House came up with this awesome idea to have a native portal to help people out there, Alaska Native corporations, tribes, American Indian entrepreneurs, and all these other folks, to be able to go online. And they got 18 federal agencies together, and they said, we're going to do an access to capital platform, and we're going to help Indian country get access to money. Well, unfortunately, 4 years later, maybe it was a little too ahead of its time, they came to the organization I work for, and the person that was in my position at that time, and they said, because the White House gave it to the Housing Urban Development Group there in D.C., they said, hey, National Center, will you take this over? And he said, yeah, sure, I'll take it over. Well, that was 2006. By the time that I came around in 2012, it was out back collecting dust. All the windows were broke out, and I was sitting up on blocks like an old Indian car. Maybe I have to use a boat reference here. And it was doing nothing. Nothing. Didn't work. 2002. 20 years later. Almost. Nothing. Ten years later. Nothing. Do my math there again. So I took it. I went, sat down, and I listened to what people were saying at these federal agencies, these corporations, tribes, Alaska Native corporations, our American Indian entrepreneurs, and they were saying all of these things. And so I took these four main things. I kept hearing every one of these folks, these different groups saying over and over and over and over again. And then I took this thing, and I was sitting back there doing nothing, and I brought it over here, and I said, let me put it on the table. Why did this not work? What was broke about it? Why didn't it go anywhere? I took it and flipped it around and looked at it all over the place. And I said, you know what? It's because this. And I started taking stuff apart. And I started breaking it down until it was really nothing but a skeleton. And then even the skeleton was no good. So I rebuilt the skeleton and the framework of it. And today, that same thing, the same name that came out of the White House, the Native Edge. Today, go to nativeedge.com. And you'll see a platform that's built on the same infrastructure as Facebook, LinkedIn, that right now can help American Indian people find a job, find procurements, do business with each other, network. No matter if you're in Alaska, you can find somebody that works in Florida. Or if you're in Florida, you can do business with somebody in Michigan. Or Michigan, you can talk to somebody in California and never leave your home. You go to school, you put that energy in to get an education, and you're looking for a job. Now it doesn't matter what your last name is or where you come from or if you've got roads or you don't have roads. If you can get on a phone, which I see some of you miraculously have phones, you can get on the Native Edge and change your life. You know what? When I started to talk about rebuilding that, they said, what do you mean, man? It's broke. It didn't work. Well, it's working now. United Parcel Service, you may have heard of them. UPS, one of our sponsors. MGM Resorts, one of the largest casino operators and buyers of goods and services on earth. So I don't even listen to people when they tell me I can't do something. I'm just more focused on doing it so that they'll shut up. By what I do, not by what I say. I'm going to say it again. I am no better than anybody in this room. Not at all. The only difference between me and you might be the belief in your own power, your own ability. But that's fixable. Because you've been put here for a reason. It may be nothing to do with the same reason I'm here for. Doesn't make it any less powerful. And you know who's going to stop you? If there is anybody that can stop you, you know who that is?
You.
Who? Who? That's right. See, this is not that, it's not rocket science, right? Because if the Creator puts you here on this earth to do something, I'm going to say it again, if the Creator puts you on this earth to do something, who on this earth can stop you? Nobody. You are the only person that can stop you. Why would you want to do that? You know, I've believe me, man, I get it. I understand. I understand why people. I get it. I understand why they check out. Because they don't know what I'm talking to you about. That's literally what it comes down to. Let me just ask you this. When people tell me about that, they come up to me, man, Litefoot, man, I can't quit drinking, man. I can't stop, man. You know what the first thing I think of? I gotta put it through the formula. I gotta put it through the filter. Let's see. Alcohol. Bigger or less than the creator?
Less than.
I mean, it's not, again, not rocket science, right? So, if this person can't get off the bottle, do you think that person knows the creator? Probably not. Now, take that same formula, person, bottle, creator, what do you think is going to happen? Stop drinking. Now, you can take bottle out of there and put crack in there. You can take crack out of there and you can put whatever in there. And with the creator, you can fix that. But now, you put any one of those in there and take the creator out, you got a problem, man. But you put the creator back into it,